Peace and love, everyone. It's your girl, Karina. Welcome back to the channel. I'm really excited to have you here. And I am here to finish and complete the Venus series on my channel. This Venus series is called How to Be Irresistible. It is one of my favorite series to date because it was something that I created versus like going on the internet and seeing like what's popular and then creating something off of that, which is something that I do as well. I'm not gonna hide. But this series was uniquely something that I wanted to bring to the table. It's talking about your Venus fashion and beauty sense. And in this live, I just want to summarize everything and help you to understand how to create your own blueprint. There's this thing called a blueprint with your Venus sign, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So, in the meantime, I would like to play some music while I wait for people to come on and vibe with me about your Venus sign. So please let me know. Let me write here. Let me know your Venus sign. Okay, let me know what your Venus sign is. And I'll be here vibing with y'all for a little bit as we talk about Venus. We'll go through all the zodiac signs very, very shortly. But first, let's just tune into some music. I don't know if you guys can even hear this. All right, so I'm just checking my live, making sure that the audio is good. Okay, I'm here. Hi. Hi, Scorpio, Venus and Scorpio. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? So good to see y'all. Glad to have you here. Okay, great. So, Venus is the planet of material things. It is the planet of that which we enjoy in this matrix. It is the part of the program of the matrix. Okay, both men and women both possess feminine energy. So where Venus is in your chart, tells you about how you like to portray yourself. It shows you how you want to show off your beauty, off your fashion, right? And that's a lot of the focus that I created for you guys. But it can also show for women basically what kind of woman you really are and how you want to attract yourself on this domain. And for men, it's the same way your beauty and your fashion. It can also signify the kind of woman you would be attracted to in a man's chart. I'm just looking for making sure my volume is still good. Okay, I think it is great. All right, great. So let's go through the signs. Let's talk about Venus through the signs, how that beauty and fashion works itself out, right? Venus can also tell you about your money making abilities, um, your money making like not flow because that's your moon, but like Venus can tell you like how you make money, what you value, how you like to make money, things like that. And I'd love to do a talk on that in the near future. So if you guys would like to hear more about Venus, give me a thumbs up, share and like this video, let your girl know that you are happy with the topics at hand. Okay, we're gonna go into Venus and Aries, okay? So Venus and Aries types when it comes to beauty and fashion, they really like to be in your face sexy. Okay, super super sexy. They love to rock very spicy colors like reds and oranges, right? Bright colors. They look really good in these colors. And one of the things that I always say about Venus and Aries is to focus on your eyebrows and really making your eyebrows pop, okay? That's a really important thing. People who have Venus and Aries, Venus and Mars, things like that, combinations, they're just extremely sexy people. They lust after, they attract lust. It's natural that they want to output that energy. Okay, so Venus and Aries is that kind of energy. Now, what I want to talk to you guys about is understanding your blueprints, okay? So, when it comes to the first step of your blueprint is knowing your Venus placement, okay? So, if you don't know your Venus placement, you want to find um a symbol of Venus. Maybe I will actually drop the video on here, how to find your Venus on this channel. You want to find your Venus symbol, look up your birth chart, find your Venus, and find out where it is, okay? That's going to be the first step in putting together your blueprint. Hi, Just B. What's up? Welcome. So you have Venus and Scorpio in the 12th house? Let me know if that's what you mean. All right, let's move on to Venus and Taurus. Venus and Taurus types are naturally beautiful because Venus is at home here. These are going to be your more voluptuous types of bodies, okay, compared to Venus and Aries, because if you're Venus in Aries, you want to be in your face sexy. So typically Venus in Aries likes needs to work out. If they don't like to work out, that might be because they have other placements that's prohibiting that naturally. But working out and fitness, big importance for Venus in Aries, because if you feel physically fit, you'll feel even more attractive and confident. And while that may seem like it applies to a lot of signs, it doesn't necessarily. It does for Venus and Aries and Scorpio. Venus and Aries and Scorpio are two of the placements where physical fitness can be a big confidence booster. Now, Venus and Taurus, these are the type who have voluptuous bodies but will own that shit. They have the ability to really just be in their body and show the world how much they love their body. And they are very, very sexy, and typically might be physically thick. If they're not, they still may abide by these fashion and beauty types. Okay, so these people work really well with beautiful floral patterns, Venus and Taurus. Deep, beautiful greens like this look great on their skin, right? Very high quality material, but if they like caught it on a budget, or if they caught it like on sale, then that would be typical Venus and Taurus. But it doesn't have to be. They really like high quality things, and they're the type of people that will buy fashion items that just already are formed out and just look good. The easier it is for Venus and Taurus to express their beauty, the better. So they just like nice materials that have beautiful patterns. So when you like throw on a cute floral dress that's already like sewn and tucked in, like, or has some sort of like structure where it like complements the body, that's easy Venus and Taurus stuff. They just want it to already look good when they put it on. No extra layers, no additives, nothing like that. They also add high quality branded stuff. Okay, so that's Venus and Taurus. Now the second part of your blueprint would be to know your sun, moon, Venus, and ascendant. The sun, moon, Venus, and ascendant. Those are the four parts of your blueprint that you have to know. And what you want to do is be look at your Venus placements based off of your sun, moon, Venus, and ascendant. For example, if you have a sun in Taurus, a moon in Taurus, an ascendant in Taurus, or Venus in Taurus, then you want to watch the Venus in Taurus video. Okay, that's that's pretty much it. All right, you want to apply your Venus placement to your sun, your moon, your Venus, and your ascendant, because that creates a blueprint of how that would look like. Okay, I'm gonna pull up for you guys what the blueprint for sun, moon, and ascendant would sound like. Hold on for your girl, okay? Hold on. Okay. All right, so your sun is gonna show how you show off yourself. It's going to show like the Venus part is the things that you take pride in. So your sun Venus placement is going to be the things that you take pride in, the things that you really love to say, look, this is me. So if you have a Venus, if you have a sun in Aries, right, then you will also dress like a Venus in Aries at times, specifically when you want to show off your prideful nature, right? When you want to be in your ego, feel like you're all that, whatnot, right? So if you have a sun in Aries, you will dress like a Venus in Aries, okay? If you have, like, for example, a moon in Aries, then you will dress like a Venus in Aries when you are feeling like you need an emotional upliftment, okay? So you'll dress like your moon sign, like when you feel like, I need to tap into my emotions, or I'm feeling emotional, my feelings got hurt today, things like that. You'll tap it into dressing like your moon sign to help uplift you. Okay? So Venus is a key element for you in this matrix to help you feel more valuable, to help you feel more like you are um to be treated and cherished in a very physical way. Okay, so this is why you may dress up like your different planet parts. Okay, so your ascendant, you might dress up like your ascendant sign when you want to impress other people. Okay, the ascendant sign and dressing like your ascendant sign really important, because this is typically the way that you may dress when you don't even realize it. You might feel trapped by this, right? But it's not to be trapped. It's just to show you that this is your typical path, because the first house, that ascendant sign, and dressing like your rising sign or your ascendant sign, is going to be the way that you typically want people to get to know you. It's kind of like your mask, right? So you will often dress like your ascendant sign. So let's say if you have a Venus in Taurus, but your ascendant is in Aries, then you probably might dress a little bit more voluptuous, or like more, you'll show a little more skin than a typical Venus and Taurus would, right? Because this is how you feel like you can get people to be interested in you, or feel your presence, or you want to get a first impression that you're very sexy, that you're very, like, you know, dominant. And so you might dress like your ascendant sign when you want to show off those things. Okay? Now, let's move on to Venus and Gemini. Venus and Gemini types are going to wear multicolored. They will be extreme, because Gemini is the double, it's the double. So they'll show like a lot of different colors, or they'll be completely monotone, and they'll just be one color. Okay, so Venus and Gemini, they play with the spectrum of all over the top colors and one color. The other thing is that they do over the top patterns, combining zigzags with polka dots, things like that. They want to show that they are wacky and crazy. This is their way to do it. They also look really good. Like, Venus and Gemini energy looks really good when they are just razzle dazzle out there. So a lot of the times you might think like Venus and Leo is the only one that can do gemstones and whatnot, but Gemini would also be big on like jewel tone colors, gemstones, fringe, glitter, because um, they need a lot of stimulation. That's a Venus and Gemini. Okay, they're also big on like peekaboo stuff. So they'll like a peekaboo cutout here, peekaboo in the back cutout, see through, things like that. Venus and Gemini. Hi Autumn. Venus and Virgo. We're gonna get to that. Venus and Virgo. Okay, next is Venus in Cancer. Venus and Cancer are gonna be your ultimate feminine energies, right? Typically, Venus and Cancer, every woman needs to do this, but specifically if you have Venus in Cancer, you want to make sure you are really focused on really good bras, right? And have like plunging necklines in your wardrobe, and show off the biddies, because Cancer rules over this part, and it shows off a more nurturing part of you. Okay, it's very milky, pastelly like colors look great with Venus in Cancer. Okay, Venus in Leo, these are your bright golden, yellowy palettes and shimmery glitter, right? Lioness, big hair, is also big for Venus and Leos. Okay. Venus and Virgo for autumn. Virgos are like Tauruses in which they take a lot of high quality materials. But Virgo is going to go the extra distance to take their things to the tailor, or they should at least take your things to a tailor, tailor it up, make sure it fits you perfectly, right? Virgo also, like Gemini, right, because they're both ruled by Mercury, will play with colors. Virgo is typically going to be more on the monotone colors, right, and typically more nude or like their skin color, nude or skin color palettes. But ever so often, Virgo might play with deep greens and other colors, combination, but in a very intellectual way. Both Venus and Gemini and Venus and Virgo are going to show off intellect in their wardrobe. So, like a cliche intellect thing is playing with glasses, shades, or sunshades. So you'll see a lot of Venus and Gemini and Venus and Virgo showing off like fancy ways of doing their glasses, because glasses is a cliche way in which you show how smart you are. So even if they don't wear glasses like for actual optical clarity, they might use it as a fashion sense and play a lot with that arena. So that's Venus and Virgo mixed with Gemini, just to show you how they're different and how they're the same. Now, Venus and Libra are your natural beauty types. They're the ones who are going to focus the most on the cinched in waist. All right, that's where you get a lot of your cinched in waist concepts in the beauty arena, because Venus rules over Libra. So the whole like rule of like women should be hourglass figure, that comes from Venus and Libra dominating over the matrix, basically. It doesn't have to be the case, but that rule comes from Venus and Libra. It's that idea of fairness, equality, and justice. So it's balancing the body for it to be cinched in the middle, and then the rest is open like an hourglass, which rules over Libra. So it's kind of like double symbology there. But these types are the ones who wear like more intricate jewelry, more detailed like patterns, uh, um like patterns that, sometimes there's printed patterns, and sometimes there's more like it's sewn in patterns. They'll be like the more sewn in types. They will put together everything that looks very floral but dainty. So not like big florals, but small little floral patterns, dainty frills. Frills also works well with Venus and Pisces, but they are just more like feminine in the cliche sense. So you're gonna see like things feel more like elegant with Venus in Libra. Okay. Now, this is just an overview, and when I'm done with this, I will post in the links to each video so you can go and watch it with more in depth, because I created a video for every single placement. But here, I'm just helping you to put together the blueprint as well. So we talked about how with your blueprint, you want to know your sun, moon, rising, and Venus sign, and you want to look at how your sun and moon rising fit into the Venus signs. For instance, if you have a sun in Virgo or Leo, then you want to go and look at Venus in Virgo and Leo, because when you want to show off your pride, you're going to dress like your sun sign. When you want to feel more emotionally in tuned, or you're feeling a little sad, a little bit more emo, a little bit moody, you're going to dress like your moon sign, right? When you're feeling more valuable, when you want to upgrade yourself, you want to dress like your Venus sign. When you want to impress people, you want to dress like your rising sign. Okay. Now, the next thing that we should talk about is the conjunctions and aspects. Sophie says her Venus is conjunct Pluto. This is also a part of your blueprint, okay? Your blueprint is the fact that you can also combine your aspects to Venus, which are going to play a very major role. Which brings me into Venus and Scorpio, okay? So, Venus and Scorpio types are going to wear more black, red, and white, maybe. They don't really venture out into other colors unless they have a different conjunction with something. These people, like for instance, Doja Cat is a Venus and Scorpio, but she has an aspect to Neptune, which makes everything a lot more oceanic, right? And more alien like with her appearances. Keep that in mind. But Venus and Scorpio are also very sexy like Venus and Aries. However, Venus and Aries might be more in your face sexy, like showing off skin, wearing less clothes. That just works the best for Venus and Aries. Venus and Scorpio, they show off their body through their clothes. So they'll wear sexy clothes, right? Maybe skin tight clothes, but they might be more fully clothed. Like a Venus and Virgo. Venus and Virgo is also going to be more fully clothed. These people are Venus and Virgo and Venus and Scorpio are similar in the fact that they want to be modest, right? Virgo leaves it basically at modest because they want to be sophisticated version of Mercury. Where Scorpio wants to take the modesty and then become a power player and be very sexy through being modest. Okay, so this is why you might be completely covered from head to toe in full black, but it will be tight leather and high leather boots, right? In Venus and Scorpio, it'll be more like sexy but covered. That's Venus and Scorpio. Hi, Nurse Tara, welcome. So, when we start to talk about your blueprint, now you want to consider the aspects that are to your Venus. So, for instance, Sophie says that she has a Venus conjunct Pluto, and her Venus is in Virgo. Okay, so now this is a perfect example for you, Sophie. You typically might dress like a Virgo, which is more monotone colors, right? But because Venus is conjunct Pluto, she also would look good wearing black leather and being a little bit more sexy. But Venus conjunct Pluto naturally could be like skin tight clothing, right? Playing with modesty, playing with sexual power, but being almost fully clothed, inviting in more dark colors because the Venus and Virgo probably wouldn't want that, but because it's conjunct Pluto, if you go dark, you're going to be even more sexier. And Pluto want your Venus and Pluto want to portray a powerful presence in your fashion and beauty. So when you look at the your Venus, is it conjunct Pluto? Is it conjunct Neptune? Neptune is going to bring in more of the Venus in Pisces energy, which is good. We'll talk about it, right? Venus conjunct Uranus is going to pull in more of the Venus in Aquarius energy. So the blueprint allows you to go and pick and choose from the different aspects. Okay, so harmonious placements would be conjunctions, would be sextiles, would be trines, right? These are going to be harmonious, meaning that you may naturally just dress like that. You may not have to think about it as much. Okay, but the aspects will color your Venus placement. Okay, so your blueprint is very intricate, it's not like linear. You are going to dress according to how you're feeling that day, right? Are there any planets hitting a certain planet more? So, like during your sun sign season, you might dress more like your sun sign, for instance, right? So, your blueprint allows you access to all of the zodiac energies that your Venus is trying to portray herself through. So, let's go through the rundown of what we said so far. That would be your sun, your moon, your actual Venus, your rising, and then whatever planets are conjunct your Venus. These are part of your blueprint, and you can access these to understand how your Venus wants to portray herself, depending on how she's feeling or how you're feeling that day. Nurse Tara says she's a Venus in Aquarius conjunct Sun, both at 0 degrees. Wow. Yeah. So your strong Aquarius energy is going to show itself out more when wanting to portray your beauty, your looks, your fashion, and show off how valuable you are to people, how attractive you are to people. People always say Venus and Aquarius wear bright colors, but I'm always wearing black. We're gonna get to that because I actually think that Venus and Aquarius wears black too because of the Saturn influence. Okay, Saturn influence planets are gonna wear black like Pluto influence planets. Okay, so we stopped at Venus in Scorpio. We're now at Venus in Sagittarius. Venus and Sag are going to be similar to Leo and Aries because of the fire energy. So the palette, the color palette is bright orange. You know, it's orange is really more here. But Venus and Sag also is connected to culture. So these people might be more cultural in their prints, like more tribal prints, right? Maybe more like mystical things, whatever it is that is connected to either the culture they're from or a culture that they're interested in. They may not even be a part of the culture, but they might wear things that portray the culture that they feel like they belong to or that they're the most interested in because of Venus and Sag energy. This is also a very stimulating placement, similar to Venus and Gemini. In fact, Sagittarius and Gemini are on the polar opposites, so this is what they have in common: is the need for high stimulation. This is your Roger Rabbit girl. What is her name? See, now I'm already forgetting. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? The girl from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Because I say it in Jessica Rabbit. Yeah, just this is your typical Jessica Rabbit. Thank you. Yeah. This is your typical Jessica Rabbit placement. So for instance, Nicki Minaj has a Venus in Sagittarius. So these people are combining, remember I said like Venus and Aries is in your face sexy, right? And then Leo is attraction and dazzling. So combine those things together. They're not only in your face sexy, but they're also very dazzling. They will just wear clothes that are going to stimulate the whole senses when you look at them. These are the type of people that everybody is looking at when they walk past them because they are like a billboard of of stimulation. Okay, they're like a melting pot. All right. Now, there's certain placements that are going to do plastic surgery. This is one of those placements. Okay, other placements would be Venus and Virgo and Venus and Libra, but for different reasons. Like Venus and Virgo might be like plastic surgery to correct, tight corrections. Venus and Libra is going to be to like, make themselves just more beautiful, right? But Venus and Sagittarius is going to enhance. Like Venus and Sagittarius is where it's like, let me enhance my booty. Let me enhance my boobs, Yes, like eye candy. Like making everything like so like big because Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So this is expanding, right? Expanding the attraction on layers. Um Sophie says she wonders if Cardi B is a Venus and Sag. Let's see. Let me look her up right now. Actually, I think I know what Cardi B is, and I don't know if it's a Venus and Sag. Let's see. Cardi B. Cardi. Okay, Cardi is a Venus in Scorpio, according to Astro Theme. And her Venus is conjunct Pluto. So she is a deep Scorpio energy. However, so by the rules of Venus and Scorpio, Cardi B should be showing off a lot of black, red, white, or black, very tight, very sexy, very like form fitting, right? But maybe covered a lot. But you guys are gonna say, but she actually wears a lot of colors. Her Venus, okay, here's the blueprint time. Her Venus is also in sextile to Neptune and Uranus, which are in conjunction with one another. So when we add Neptune and Uranus, we're adding a more multi-layer of the rainbows, right? So this is where we're gonna go more ethereal. We can also go more sexy. Well, the sexy is already there, but more ethereal from Neptune, right? And then Uranus is the part that is a trickster because Uranus is basically rock star energy. We'll talk more about Venus in Aquarius in a minute. But her Venus is also trined Mars in a Cancer. So she's also aggressively showing off her boobs. One of the ways that her Venus is really outputting it. So that's how you guys see in an example of how the aspects to Venus color the Venus a little bit more. Okay, let's see. People always say Venus and Aquarius were bright colors. Okay, so let's keep going because I wanted to talk about Venus and Aquarius. I can't even say fantasy light. Yeah. And I'll probably drop some videos on how to find your aspects. It is in my course on how to find your Venus. I'm gonna add how to find your aspects. But I'll also put it on this channel because that's important to know when you're creating your whole blueprint. And so you can pull from it, you know. Let's look back at Cardi and her blueprint. So when Cardi's feeling like she wants to be prideful, she's actually going to dress a little bit more daintier because of her sun in Libra. So her Venus will show off pride when she's a little bit more dainty, more pastelly colors. That's when she's trying to be more diplomatic. Okay. When she is maybe in a lot of pain, when her feelings are hurt, when she's feeling moody, when she's feeling emotional, she's going to dress like an Aries because her moon is in Aries. So she will be more aggressive. She'll show a lot more skin because that is like it's like war. Like to show your skin for Venus and Aries, it's like I'm coming to fight. I'm here, I'm present. It's not just I want your sexual attention. I want you to see me. That's Venus and Aries, okay? Um, and I don't have her ascendant here, but her ascendant would show how she wants to impress you guys. Nurse Tara, did I ever discuss retrograde planets in a natal chart? I haven't, but I will be doing those videos very soon. I have like 10 different series happening on the channel, so bear with me as I slowly drop them all for you guys. Okay, so we talked about Venus in Sag. Next is Venus in Capricorn. Venus in Capricorn, like her Earth sisters, is going to be more monotone in color, more tailored, more high quality stuff. The signature look for Venus in Capricorn is that they're going to have like some kind of blazer, you know, and any Venus conjunct Saturn, sextile Saturn, anything like that, they're going to be more like conservative in the sense of a classic blazer is a perfect look for Venus and Capricorn. Okay. Now, Venus in Aquarius. Venus in Aquarius, like Capricorn, like Scorpio, will wear more black in their wardrobe. Black is a complementing color for all people, but these placements, they like black. It does something to their skin color. It really makes them look more powerful and it gives a lot of presence. Okay. Venus in Aquarius is interesting because you can have a plethora of things happen here when you are dealing with Venus in Aquarius, it's not as much as let's follow the rules of any color book or fashion sense, but it's based off of the group that they are a part of. So coming out of Sagittarius, where you look at Venus and Sagittarius as, oh, I'm showing off my culture, so I might wear like kente cloth, I might wear tribal wear, whatever. Venus in Aquarius is more about like a group or a nostalgia that they're a part of. So it might be something like, you know, if I'm ghetto fab and I come from the hood, like I might rock like more hood stuff. I'm sorry to be so cliche, but it's just what it is. Or like more gothic wear. Gothic wear would show itself in a Venus and Sagittarius because they're wanting to show off the group that they're a part of. Another no, sorry, I said Venus in Sagittarius. I mean Venus in Aquarius. Venus in Aquarius. Okay. So people who are rocking Venus in Aquarius, and Sagittarius, they're gonna show like what they're a part of. That's gonna be a big part of their fashion sense. Okay. Um, like if they're into fairies, if they're part of like a fairy group, you know, in school or whatever, then they might wear fairy garments like Venus and Aquarius. So Aquarius becomes very unique to the group that they're part of. But another energy of Venus and Aquarius is like the rock star look, like just like hairs all over the place and like leather jackets with like a lot of layers underneath. Venus and Aquarius placements can be probably one of the more insecure about their looks. Ripped jeans, exactly. They're gonna be the type that has a little bit of a issue with feeling beautiful. So sometimes they might go the opposite end and be like more like against the grain of beauty and they might play around with that. And the more that you do play around with that, the better. But let's say if like, you know, like I just, you know, you like really love the baddie look and you want to rock the baddie look, then just use all of your intellect with Venus and Aquarius to put it together because that's what they do. They take the science of beauty and create it. And so Venus Aquarius could be almost anything if they put their mind to it. Steven Tyler, Aerosmith. Yeah, all those like rock star edgy looks is Venus in Aquarius. That also was one portrayal of it. But they can also be wacky. This is where you could find Venus in Aquarius and Venus in Gemini. You could find a lot of different hair color, things like that. Changing their hair color, whatnot, which you can also find in the Venus and Pisces placement. Now, this placement is the most interesting, in my opinion, because this is where we have the deep well of how Venus could portray herself. Venus loves to be in Pisces when it comes to beauty because she is very feminine. Pisces is very feminine. Pisces is the old Hollywood look. So Venus and Pisces might love that old Hollywood look. For instance, going back to Doja Cat, she has a Venus in Scorpio. I believe it's sextile or trine. I'm not sure, but she has a harmonious aspect to Neptune. And she just did like a big, like old, like Broadway Hollywood look. She can pull that off too. But then Neptune or Venus and Pisces also brings out like anything from the sea. So like mermaid looks, you know, fishnets, um, dreadlocks, locks or whatever, dreads, whatever, like the look of the sea, right? Scales, things might be flashy, but it'll look like fish scales, the patterns of those things, right? The pirate look, the sexy girl pirate look or whatever. So they will pull those looks out as well, and they look really good in those looks. So like old Hollywood or of the sea. The other thing that Venus and Pisces I see do a lot is like um peasant stuff, like dainty frills around the top, like vintage clothing and like things like that. Yes, mermaids. So that mermaid culture is big, and it could balance itself from Venus and Aquarius into Pisces, where it's like you're a part of a group, but you're also like ethereal. So the two kind of like work in itself. And if you notice about the zodiac, everything is just building up on the other. So basically when you're in Venus and Pisces, you can be a chameleon to any situation. Exactly, Sophie, Pirates of the Caribbean. So if you have a Venus in Pisces or if you have Sun, Moon, Rising in Pisces, these might be ways that you portray yourself. Um, and if you have any aspects to Neptune from your Venus. So you want to check to see if Venus is sextile, conjunct Neptune, anything like that, and that might show itself to be one of your aspects. Now, the last part of your blueprint that is the biggest part about how to be irresistible. This is you. If you have stayed, if you're watching this live, thank you so much for your support. If you're watching the replay and you've stayed until this point, you have come to the buried treasure of my Venus and Scorpio placements. Sorry, Venus placements and the secret to how to be irresistible. It all actually is in the word irresistible. Okay. So here's how it goes. The Hi Carlette, welcome. So the word irresistible is about your resistance. Your resistance. Okay. So when you're looking at your placements, like I said, I've talked about all the placements that work out for you, except for one thing, which is your challenging placements. Your challenging placements to Venus are where you are at your most resistance. Okay, so if you have any planets in square to Venus or opposing Venus, then you are dealing with resistance naturally because we all have it. Okay, so for example, my Venus is in Aries. Okay, I have a square of Venus and Aries to my midhaven, which is the 10th house. Okay, the midhaven point exactly. And that's in Cancer. So, dressing like a Cancer, being as feminine as Cancers are, getting my bras together is my biggest challenge. If you guys see my fashion stuff, my have no good bras that actually fit me. I'm always struggling with that. Right? That's where we are resistant. So with the idea of how to be irresistible is to try to embrace the part of your Venus that is challenged. This is where we get into there's certain people who are just naturally know how to put fashion together, and there's certain people who struggle. Okay, and if you are struggling like myself, It's maybe because you have a lot of challenging aspects to your Venus. So you might have some squares, you might have some oppositions, you might have some inconjuncts, certain things that make Venus under pressure and you just don't get it right. So one of the things to make yourself irresistible is to work on the parts that are the most challenging to your Venus. So look at what sign is challenging your Venus. For instance, Cancer challenges my Venus. So I would look at Venus and Cancer video and understand the beauty tips and tricks and the energy behind Venus and Cancer and try to integrate that into myself. And I will actually uplift my Venus and upgrade Venus on a even on a very irresistible way. So to be irresistible is to seek where you are resisting, which in your natal chart are the squares and oppositions to your Venus, and then incorporate the sign energy that is challenging your Venus. It may be a sign that's challenging it, but more than likely it will be like a planet or a placement. For me, it was a placement, but it could be like Lilith challenging your Venus. You could have other planets challenging your Venus. So the challenger might be the one where like, oh, like yeah, I like for me, can Venus and Cancer, I'm awful with bras, but Venus and Cancer, all they do is show off their boobs and get that shit together. So maybe for you, maybe you have a challenge from Neptune and you don't really like wearing fishnet tights. You're like, look, I'm way too conservative for that. Right? So that might be something where like, maybe there's one night out I can go and try some fishnet tights, or maybe I'll try and lock my hair or do a braid braided look. That's also in Pisces or Neptune energy. So this is just a foundation for you guys to build your blueprint and to analyze your Venus placement from this area, and then also look at different like celebrities and what their Venuses are. Read these things, and because they're the ones who have like all the fashion teams, and you can get more ideas on what to pull and what to try out for yourself. Nurse Tara asks, is it true that the sun burns Venus when conjunct? The sun burns almost everything when it's in conjunct. That also goes for Mercury, especially the personal planets. And when the sun burns Venus, it just means that the ego is probably like taking over even more. Like the ego is like really encompassing Venus. And person could be a little bit more self-indulgent, into themselves, very a little narcissistic. There's nothing wrong with it. Don't be scared. I'm not here to judge. Um, People who have Sun and Venus, like if you are Taurus, if you're a Libra, like these placements have a little bit more of the self-indulging thing going on, right? So that's all to understand about Sun and Venus energy. Carlet says she's a Venus in Aries too, and the Sun in Pisces, right? So you'd want to watch the Venus in Aries video that I created and the Venus in Pisces video, Carlet, because your Pisces Sun is there and it's a part of your blueprint. And typically you'll dress like a Pisces when you want to show off your ego. And Pisces ego is, I'm the most mystical, most spiritual, most wise person in the room. So you might want to dress more like a Venus and Pisces when you want to portray that energy. Hi, Urban Goddess Tarot. She says, me too. I'm a Pisces Sun and I have Aries and Venus. Yep. Now, there's a very sexy placements right there. So, like, there's going to be a lot of skin being shown. And if you're not doing it, then I recommend to try it because that's going to be very attractive and very irresistible to people. So, does anyone here who's watching know their challenging aspects? Does anyone know their squares to your Venus or oppositions to Venus? Let me know. Just have a few more minutes, but I'd love to see if anyone does and I can help you interpret it. I often feel like Nurse Tara, I often feel like I don't want to draw attention to myself. I like to be behind the scenes. You have a Venus in Virgo, am I right? Oh, Venus in Aquarius. Okay. Maybe the Saturn aspect of Venus makes you a little more reserved. Venus and Virgo are probably the more wanting to be unseen or wanting to be more reserved. Yes, the sixth house as well that's a Virgo energy, so that could also make you a little bit unseen. It's difficult with Venus in the sixth house. You really got to focus on lifestyle, taking care of yourself, and like the preparation before beauty. That's Venus in Virgo, or Venus in the sixth house. Like the preparation before you're beautiful, which is the skincare routine, the hair care routine. I have Venus in the sixth house too. I am awful at a hair care routine, and I want to take care. I want to like show off my hair so badly, but it's one of my things that I have to work on, which is that sixth house energy. Because Venus in Virgo is not happy. Venus is not happy in Virgo energy. She has to nitpick at herself before she can indulge in herself, which she would prefer to do when she reaches, her home placements like Taurus and Libra. Yes, in the Venus in sixth house, you would be taking care of others a lot. Yes, that's also why it's a problem with Venus in the sixth house. Yeah, right. So it's also about creating a method. When you're ever dealing with Virgo energy, it's creating a method. Actually, any Earth energy methods work really well, but then also know, because it's a sixth house, that you might change. Like you might create a method and then it has to change after 2 months or something like that, because that sixth house is a changing house. So that's also to know in your blueprint, your house placement, where your Venus is and what house placement. Now, the last thing that I want to do is share with you guys a part of the blueprint, which is knowing the Lord of your house. Okay. This is going to be where you put your attraction energy the most. I know there's so much to your blueprint and you don't have to memorize it all, but just knowing, it's just a deep way of looking at Venus. Okay. And looking at your Venus and getting real comfortable with knowing your Venus. So all this blueprint allows you to do that. And what I'll do is I will create a blueprint form on my Patreon. My Patreon is for supporters, but I will make sure that it's free for you guys. So come and check this video within a couple of hours, and I'll link it in the comments because I got to go pick up my daughter. So it might take me an hour or two to put together the blueprint. I have it in my files and then put it on Patreon, and I'll post it for the public to see, and you guys can use it and like download it to your phone, and you can always reference it and knowing, oh, what's my Venus blueprint? So the last thing that I want to say is the output of the Lord of the house. So this is a little complicated. Just follow along, but I'll probably make a video if you guys really don't get it. But if you know the Lord of the house system, then you'll understand what I'm saying. Okay, so what is the Lord of your house? The Lord of your house is the planet that rules over the house that your Venus sits in. For example, follow with me. My Venus sits in Aries. It's in Aries in the seventh house. Okay, so on the cusp of my seventh house is the sign Aries, and my Venus is there. But what's the Lord of my seventh house? Because Aries is there, it would be Mars. Okay, so now I must look at where my Mars is, because the Lord of your Venus house is going to tell you where to focus your attraction energy. Sometimes you're like, oh, I need to look good for this person, look for good for this event, and look good for this event, and it's too much. So my Lord of my seventh house, because Aries is there, is Mars. Okay, so where's Mars? Mars for me is in the eighth house. So I focus all of my attraction energy towards my sexual partners. If I do all of that, if I focus all of my attraction energy towards my sexual partners, I will be better at my Venus. My Venus will continuously execute that energy, and it will improve and improve and upgrade, because that's how Venus wants to attract, right? So I got to deal with all of my relationship issues so I can want to be attractive. I got to deal with all of that. And the minute that I'm like, yeah, I want to look hot for my husband, everything is going to start locking in for me. So that's how to also look at your Venus. So tell me whoever's here, and I'll briefly talk to you about it. Where is your Venus placed? What is your Venus placement, house, and sign? I know everybody has told me already, but if there's just one person that would just suggest it for me, so I could tell you the Lord of your house. Okay. Everybody's real silent. That's okay. Okay, Nurse Tara, Venus in Aquarius in the sixth house. Okay, so Aquarius is ruler over your sixth house. Where, Nurse Tara, is your Uranus planet? Where is planet Uranus? Urban Goddess Tarot, her Venus is in Aries in the ninth house. So where, Urban Goddess Tarot, is your Jupiter? I'm sorry, not your Jupiter, is your Mars. Okay, so you see, I'm looking for the planet that rules over the sign. So Nurse Tarot, Venus in Aquarius in the sixth house. Where is your Uranus? Urban Goddess Tarot, Venus in Aries in the house. Where is your Mars? Sophie, Venus, 1 degree in Virgo in the eighth house. Where is your Mercury? Okay, that's how you would find the Lord of your house. And wherever that planet is, tells you that house is how Venus wants to execute and who she wants to attract. Okay. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Definitely come over to the Patreon, especially if you come from this conversation, then I know that you guys want to know more about Venus, and we can do more talks like these on the Patreon talking about Venus. And, this is more exclusive and it's really helpful because it helps support me in keeping the channel going and doing astrology. Thank you so much for your time. I will see you guys in the next live.